First of all, thank you so much for having this. Just have some comments and then just a quick question. I think North Las Vegas might as well just be its own county. I think these areas have grown a lot. I think they can really govern themselves. North Las Vegas should be its own county. Regarding Juneteenth, I think more of us should know that these acts have been done across the world, not just in the United States, the Middle East, Latin America. I think the rent issue was a result mainly of the eviction moratoriums, and I think the best thing we have to do is to increase supply, allow more studio apartments, granny flats, even people like me who make decent, and we just don't want to spend a lot of money. But I want to talk about that public money going to organizations. Correct me if I'm wrong, money is going to Culinary Union. And this makes me think they're a huge force, and maybe that's why so many people have a concern, and I don't know what this is for. Is this true? And then we're seeing all these reports that people are not running for re-election?
Okay,
I don't know if
I'll thank you for your question, and I'll let Assemblywoman Moreno speak to we'll just address.
I don't know if you can answer it. I'm sorry if I didn't.
You can please be specific and address the nonprofit issue.
Yes. So Assembly Bill 525, the bill.
Why are you recording?
Oh, I'm just.
It's what Cyrus does. He's a tracker at all of our events.
So just
for
to
the
be
record.
clear
Yes,
for the public,
just so you know
Okay.
that. Yeah, he is a tracker. He comes to all of our events. Assembly Bill 525 gave appropriations to nonprofits and businesses and workforce development. And the Nevada Partners and the Culinary Academy employs members from this community. And
Okay.
they needed the training. So
Okay.
that's why the money went
Okay.
there. And to the nonprofits helping homelessness, food insecurity, and education.
I didn't
So if you
know.
look at all that, everything's in that bill.
Okay.
And people not running for office, we have 12-year terms in the legislature. And people find other opportunities or life situations, and they choose to run or not to run. So I applaud them for whatever the next step they're going to do. I'm not sure what that is. I'll wait and see where God leads me. But I'm coming to the end of my career in the legislature as well.
Cool.
But yeah, the bill had nothing to do with people's life choices.
Okay. We'll just
All right.
wanted to get another side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a question here on the front row. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Horsford. I have a question. What is Kamala Harris doing about Wall Street? We have another economic crisis coming pretty soon. The housing market is overpriced. Is she doing anything about banking and finance? Is she putting any Glass-Steagall legislation? Bernie Sanders was for it, definitely, Even Elizabeth Warren has talked about it. Does she want to put the crooks and fraudsters in jail for crashing our economy? Do you have any platforms about that? I'm concerned that this economy is going to crash and Wall Street bankers are going to get away with crime. Anything about the Federal Reserve? Can you please elaborate about that, please? Is that okay? You need to start representing American citizens. This is the problem, folks. We're sick and tired of you being out of touch with the average person. Start representing Americans first. Shame on you. Shame on you. This is taxation without representation.
and now they are attempting to attack and undermine diversity, equity, and inclusion, SBA 8A programs, and other efforts to help us close the wealth gap.
Good.
So the last cornerstone to me is the cornerstone of voting and our voting system, and to continue to make it fair and free and open. And again, I want to commend the Nevada legislature because they've held the line on some of the most draconian attempts to suppress or weaken or to create onerous requirements around voting. First of all, it shows you how powerful we are, because when we vote, we win. We elect people who look like this table and others, and because of that, there are those who want to stop the progress of this change and what it means and the decisions and the agenda that they bring. But worse than that, they want to stop you from having the power that you have to express your voice at the ballot box. And so the Congressional Black Caucus has led an initiative called Democracy for the People over the last summer. It was a summer of action in the spirit of the Freedom Summer movement. We were in 12 cities in 3 months, including here in Las Vegas, and we did town halls, youth forums. We organized in every community so that we could develop a whole new cohort of leaders around defending our democracy and helping us build a bench of organizers in the community. We culminated that at the 60th anniversary on the March on Washington just a few weeks ago. Who is always making it happen, making it rain, especially for the people of North Las Vegas. And let me just say a couple of things, and each one of these leaders here has an expertise in their own area, whether it's Senator Spearman and the work that she's done around renewable energy and the climate crisis, definitely in healthcare and improving the standards for healthcare workers. Assemblywoman Claire Thomas, who has championed a number of important measures in our legislature, always listening to the needs of people.
We left 250,000 Black people behind in 1863. They were not, they did not join until 1865. So this ratifies and corrects history because we needed to do that. So I think that all of us can be proud of the state of Nevada that we've joined Texas and a few other states that recognize that an injustice to one is an injustice to all. So that's Assembly Bill 140 that I am, again, very, very, very proud of.
It was vetoed by the governor. Because there is no more AB 486 from the 21st legislative session, we have no structure to help people have any space to collect themselves to move if they get that eviction notice on their door. So what is happening is when someone gets an eviction, two things happen. It goes on their credit report, so that's going to prohibit them to get housing later. And two, they don't have any time. And three, where are they going to go to find some place that they can afford to live? So the bill got through, but the governor vetoed it. So we are working as best we can with the federal delegation, with our local folks, to help any way we can our community.
I believe that we represent everybody, we're the voice of everyone, and every nonprofit that the minority leadership asked for to be included in that legislation is in that bill. So when the media blows up the Democrats, they need to be blowing up the Republicans too. So just put that out there. Talk about housing. AB 310 is a supportive housing bill. We know that we need more low-income housing, affordable housing, but we need supportive housing. We have apartment complexes that have members that people are living in that just need a lift up, but they didn't know where to get that. I was very happy to work with community leaders to get AB 310 passed. It is on the sheet. It made a $32+ million appropriation for supportive housing bill, a grant funding that we can now access federal grant dollars to bring in to address homelessness, supportive housing with behavioral health care issues that hopefully landlords will not be kicking people out, but have this fund they can go to help their residents living in their areas. And the last bill I'm going to do is the mail theft bill. And people are like, why did you do a mail theft bill putting people in jail? My seniors were telling me, and that's AB 272, that People were stealing their mail, stealing their checks, and they were having a hard time making ends meet.
Whoa.
I heard from
I think it's important, like in the community that I live in and across this valley, that there needs to be some emphasis about Black people put into place. Because, like I said, we're not benefiting and we're not growing. I made a comment on Facebook last week about the historic West Las Vegas, and you have Jackson Street, and even the education system. Everything across the board, when it is involving us, it's a huge issue. It's already been an issue, but it's like worse. So my concern for all of you, you don't have to, because you kept putting emphasis on it, and you was like, we represent everybody, and that's understandable. But we really need you guys to really focus on not being discriminatory on the issue that involve Black people, and really put the pedal to the metal, because we are in so much trouble across the board. You said, Britney, you said,
Okay, I gotta let somebody else have
let
a
me
chance.
just close this, and I'm gonna give you
Okay.
an opportunity. I told you I wanted to break the rules. You said elections have consequences, right? And I agree with you. And that's why today, and I had this conversation, I think the last election with Congressman Horsford, about even the Democratic Party really stepping up. Now, I'm not saying that they haven't made some progress, but again, when it comes to us, entrepreneurship, jobs, education, housing, everything, we are again at the bottom. So it does. And to avoid that consequences, then you guys have to put more emphasis on the people in this room. And I'm being specifically about Black people. Then I'm gonna shut up on this one. You said, Shondra, we're in a crisis. I heard everything that you were saying about the eviction. So, and I understand your roles, because we don't really have the resources that's available, to individualize when it comes to Black representation. And we in a crisis, but you guys you're in a position to change it. You're in a position to create resources, because if you look at any other community right now, and I know it's some Hispanics are